with no more choirs with me. I'm not the guy that goes to church. You know what I'm saying? Not the institution of church. I have my beliefs. I have, the way I look at it. But with the song, you know, when you have church, when we have those Divine Sons days, that's church.
All right.
When we gather and we speak in our living rooms, or if we on the corner and we building, we having church. And with no more choirs, it was a whole lot more of, instead of us just having this conversation amongst us, let's go out and get everybody who's not listening right now. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of sheep right now that's just standing by and watching, and letting things happen if they happen to be, in the church, not in the church, on the block, you know what I'm saying, at the bar, whatever it is. We need to stop just pushing our point amongst like-minded individuals. We need to go out there and get some people excited, to get some people mad. You know what I'm saying? If we want change, we got to stop talking to the people who's sitting right next to us. That's what I get out the song. At the end of the day, is that, like Anon said, you can preach to the choir all day, but we're at a stage here where we don't need no more choirs. You know what I'm
But I
saying?
mean, and to bring it full circle back to the religious aspect of it. I mean, Jesus didn't preach to the choir.
Yeah,
Jesus went where he was needed. He
exactly.
He
fed
kicked me in the doorway, then the fofo.
the
No
he,
fofo, but you know
yeah,
you got to know
he
what that
fed he fed the hungry and healed the ailing and brought the ministry to where it was needed. I mean, he was a man of the people. I mean, and I think that there's a big analogy there with not just the song. Like, there's a big analogy between being a man of the people and bringing it to where it's needed, that hip hop has always been a part of. And before hip hop, it was like the soul music and blues
Hmm.
and as poverty, if you really the historical aspects of the impoverished neighborhoods and exposure to instruments and things of that nature, whereas it was a lot easier to get a pencil and paper and learn to write these rhymes than to get some music lessons and learn how to play an instrument. So
Yeah.
you saw more MCs and you saw more producers learning how to make beats with tape machines and taking equipment that was used for something else and making it into hip hop. And I think that you know what we're doing here, as grown men, fathers, husbands, teachers, leaders, because we're the lions of this generation. You know what I'm saying? The old lions get old and the young lions are watching us and learning from us, patterning their movements after our movements. Um,
Exactly.
and I think that whereas there's no more choirs, and then there's F12, which um, touches on a whole other side of the equation, as far as, like, the evolution and or corruption of the police force. You know, and then you have Science of Self, A Beautiful Mind. We're talking a lot about the conscious, but I think, without diving too deep into that, man, the Cadillac aspect of this joint is kind of bugged out.
that Cadillac ride.
There is a clear distinction amongst the conscious and the Cadillac. And I
Yeah,
think I think at the end of the day, the Cadillac, well, for this album, it was just the most important, because it was like, we're not gonna pretend like we don't have these carnal desires, or, we don't have these thoughts, and when we're amongst ourselves, we don't do this or we don't do that. I
yeah.
remember I used to deal with this producer who used to deal with Talib Kweli a lot, and be
Hmm.
in the studio with him. And he used to always tell me, he was, Talib fake, man. I'm like, why is he fake? He'd be like, yo, he be in the studio with 40s and shit. And I was like, why does that make him fake? You know what I'm saying? That's him. You know what I'm saying? If he
Yeah.
likes to drink 40s, he drinks 40s. He's still spitting that G. And I guess he just he took away from it as he puts one thing out in his music, but he's another way here. And I don't find that makes him fake. I just find that he's just not, he decided not to
Presenting that.
share that
Yeah,
side of him.
yeah.
But on Conscious and Cadillac, we decided to share that side of us.
All of it.
Yeah, we
Oh
decided to go
man,
ahead and put that out of there. You know,
dude. Choker, man. Whose brainchild was Choker? I know whose it was. I
The
Okay.
just
Lunchbox champ.
Yeah, and
was
that's
it
that's
really?
what's weird
It
is that
wasn't mine. So you was about to give it to me.
you
And
ask 100 of our friends who came up with that song, they're gonna say Anon came up with that song.
he didn't. He didn't. I was following suit, y'all. Just know I was following suit, B.
Man, you took it there though. You went kind of far, man.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
went
think
you went there.
I don't think he had to encourage you too much to follow suit.
Nah. After he gave me the explanation, and I heard that verse because he spit the verse before I wrote anything. Actually, you had recorded the verse. Now listen to that joint. And wasn't that one of the joints that was on the zip that Charlie V had given me?
Giving us.
Well,
Every
I
Gave
every
us
beat
listen.
every
well, he
every
played him at my house.
Oh, that was
listen
All at the house.
no, no,
listen for the people at home.
no.
Every beat belongs to a non. Okay,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah, every beat belongs to a non. Yeah.
you got to get in when you fit in with that fella, man.
Hey
Yeah.
man,
What was
don't
strange
get my
about
spirit.
Joker?
I wasn't trying to ball hog. I was just excited, and background. I've been wanting to reunion with my brothers for an extended period of time, musically, personally, socially, all of that. So yeah, I'm like a happy kid that like to play ball. Get out on the court, pass me the ball. I'll pass it back. Pass me the ball. I'll pass it back. Yeah, I wanted it.
The strange thing about Choker, well, not so much strange, but Charlie gave us the beat, and he played a few beats for us that night. And once again, it was one of those Divine Sun's Day. I think we were shooting some scenes for Beautiful People,
Hmm.
Mm.
and he played that beat, and I instantly was like, "Oh, all right, I know the flow on this beat. I gotta drop something on here before Nah drops something on here.
Yeah, nobody gets
Gotta
it.
go first." And that's what we do a lot. Sometimes we don't tell our partners or our brothers that what our plan is for a song. We just try to jump on there first, and hopefully everybody will follow suit.
But the imprint of y'all follow through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Choker just so happened to be I'm the slowest rider out the crew. It takes me a minute to get
I don't know.
my bars down, but Choker took me it took me a session. I knocked that out quick. I don't know. I was really feeling the concept. It's some for the listeners out there, it's some it's really sexual and maybe a little violent, but it's all acceptable
Okay, well it's not.
amongst.
Well,
It's
I
all
would use the
consensual.
word.
Let's say that.
I would use the word risque.
Risque. Let's go. Let's go with risque. It's beautiful and sexy and ugly all at the same time.
It kind of goes back to what we said, what I said earlier, what we said earlier. In my thought process, I think one of the failures of the concept of marriage in America is that it's built upon lies, built
Mm.
upon freeing yourself up. It's built upon suppressing and doing what is the right thing, which is why people find themselves getting that outside work because that outside work gives them what they want, that freedom. But what they don't understand is they're a whole different person with that outside work than they are
Mm.
at home. So the song Choker, yes, is about, as some would say, the choke and stroke. It's about a more intense sexual experience. And whereas we don't say that, specifically in the song, but the idea, this is not coming from I just picked up somebody on the side of the street. This is like somebody I care about, I dig, I'm speaking with. Like there's consent and this intensity, but the idea is this, Richard Pryor said, and I got to quote this because I love it. Richard Pryor on When Your Woman Leaves You, at the very end of the skit, says the man gets mad and be like, well, fine, leave. I don't care. I'm going to go find some new pussy anyway. She say, nigga, if you add 2 more inches of dick, you find some new pussy right here. Now, that's metaphorical. That's not necessarily physical. But the reality is, you get into your relationship what you put into your relationship. And so, if you have certain proclivities, if there are certain things that you like, to simply say that your partner, that your mate doesn't want or won't want to do that, you've already created a discussion in your head with someone else and answered for them. That's schizophrenia like a mother. So, the idea is to prompt conversation and open up that discussion, especially in healthy relationships, about being comfortable and exploring yourself.
There you go.
And dog collars.
All right, so we've been jumping all around. I don't think it would be um, prudent for us to go track for track, but I do wanna talk about front door.
Oh,
Um,
Mm.
wow.
this is shout out to Trice B Phantom Magnetic.
Magnetic.
Um, brother Trice will come through, man, and he'll just mess your head up. And I feel like this record, man, this record right here is so intense, man. Front door is kind of like it takes me back to college where somebody would come up with an idea and they would lay it, but it'd be live, not like lay it and then email it to everybody, but
Yeah,
it would be live, and then you're right there and you're like, yeah, I'm getting in on this,
yeah.
and you just got to get in on it because the thing I like about front door is that it has so much charisma, so much personality, so much energy. Um, I think that this record is kind of like, to me, just a just a natural bond, brothers just doing their thing, and then it just being that, you know.
Let me say, as an MC, and everybody hears this, and you hear it time and time again, is that as an MC, to be a good MC, you have to be competitive. There's a competitive fire that's within you. You wanna spit your hardest verse, even if you're on a track with your brother, or your homie, or whatever it be.
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat on this track, and
yeah,
he gonna have to come with his A game. So
yeah,
when they got the beat and Trice and Anon was in their studio and they was about to lay it, I was like, okay, well, yeah, they're gonna lay it first. I come up behind them. I ain't scared. And then I got the track and I heard Trice on there, and I was scared. I was a little intimidated because Trice, he can go absolute ape shit when he wants to, and
And
that's
by the way,
exactly what he did. He absolutely went ape shit. There's not many times with making music that I'm intimidated, but listening to dude, I was thoroughly intimidated.
and
Trice
again,
is a monster.
again, for the sake of those who are getting to know us and for those who know us, Trice B. Feather Magnetic is the angelic voice on Oxygen Mask. He's the voice and the sound that Dan looped for Divine Sons. He is way more than the vocalist of Divine Sons. In fact, when we were in college, he was the beatbox dude on top of that. And I've been pushing him for a while, like, yo, you not just a fill-in dude. You're not the hook guy. Like, if you got an idea, come with it. And I probably should have shut my mouth because when he hit that front door and that onomatopoeia, and to be so syncopated with it, so staccato
yeah.
with it, just, I mean, yeah, I was intimidated. I caught a body on that one. I got bodied, and it's cool. I'm happy. My brother bodied me on that one. I wasn't prepared.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, and this is gonna be short, sweet, and to the point. When I heard Trice's joint to that, I was straight. I ain't even try. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that one. And you never hear me say that, but I was
I had
straight. I
already
was,
stuck my foot in my mouth. Yeah, I'm gonna rap on it. Yeah, whatever y'all do, I just come behind
mm-mm,
y'all and got
nah.
that shit. It was like, oh god,
Mm-mm.
He was
God.
recording at the crib. I kind of had to.
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah, you was boxed in,
Right.
And
but
it's
I
not
was.
even saying that our verses was trash. It's just
Yeah.
that he was
Out
that
of my first and yours.
he was just so there that yeah, we were just an afterthought. So
Y'all
yeah,
should have
it's
made
okay
him go
though.
last, man.
Now I'm glad he went first because I think he gave it its personality.
Yeah, true. True that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's a dope record, man. Shout out to Trice, man. He's Trice is on every project without even being around. He's got like placements like several times on every project. That's a good dude, man. Um, real quick before we just um freestyle it a little bit. What's your favorite track on the album, Anai?
Fuck.
Yeah, that's right. I'm good at this interview thing, B.
Yo, baby, my favorite. Yo.
Punch, you got to answer while we're
yeah,
letting the
I do
crib
have
get.
an answer, and it's for this reason. I'm from up north. I'm a I'm a real East Coast dude. I'm from North New Jersey. I love East Coast music, In 1993, I want to say I moved to Texas, and I got exposed to a lot of South music, 8 Ball of MJG, UGK, Triple Six Mafia. You know, I was listening to a lot of that and getting a lot of their a lot of South influences. I would take it back up north, and cats would be laughing at me. What's a Master P? What is this shit? And then come back a year or two later. Now everybody's listening to Cash Money and Master P. But I have real heavy South influences, and you know, Outkast, Youngbloods, huge fans, and I always like the soul of their music. So when I heard that writing down 85, what's the real name of that song?
85.
Is it 85?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, when I heard that, I always loved that hook. Like, yo, that hook is beautiful. And you know, I'd be in the car with myself sometimes, and I sing, and I'd be singing it to myself. And you know, if I get a real solid R&B beat, I'd want to R&B that hook, and was able to do it on this project with Waiting. And I would say that's my favorite song, just because I was finally able to do that,
Mm.
and that the song actually came together. You know, it sounds like the South music I was listening to in high school. You know what I'm saying? It brings me back to those days. So I would say Waiting is my favorite song on the album.
You know, I was definitely not sure, right? And when Billy added what he added to that Cadillac outro, like that speaks to me. That's just narcissistically, Narcissus and Echo speaks to me. But I think it's F12.
Yo,
That's a close follow for me.
yo,
Very
And,
close follow.
and like F12, like I played around, and again for the people, I played around with this idea, this thing called trap rock, and kind of just joking, speaking to the brothers, and I really did. I wanted something that was gonna be revolutionary, and not revolutionary for the sake of being revolutionary, but that was really a true expression of passion, of angst, and the history of that angst as well.
mm,
From Rodney King all the way up to Trayvon Martin, all the way up to tomorrow and next week. By the time you watch this, there will be another name to fill in that blank. And so just the idea of dealing with Americans who take any criticism of the way that we're policed as just an assault against police is problematic. But real talk, much like when NWA said F the police and nobody believed them, and then Rodney King was beaten live for the first time. We
mm,
saw them. And people in small villages, small cities in mainland America, in the heartland of America, got to see that, hey, maybe this wasn't an exaggeration. And so, like, art has to be able to present the beauty and the ugly. It has to be social, it has to be political, it has to be real. But with that being said, Charlie P just smashed on that thing, and it just comes together so well. The
dude,
resonance of it, the gutterness of it, the pain of it, but not a pain that leaves you empty. A pain
yeah,
that motivates you, a pain that pushes you, and honestly, a pain that, for me, a pain that says, okay, if you're going to say that our opposition to our continual slaughter is problematic, then I'm gonna need you to answer for it. Then I'm gonna need you to answer for it, because this is not passive, and I am speaking for the brothers that I feel for them. I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. I've been able to escape some of those things, even though but and all praises. I want to manifest that I'm going to continue to be that way. But I see brothers on a regular basis who more than likely might find themselves in a situation where they have to deal with that. So yeah, it comes together. It touches me on my heart, and I think musically it sounds great.
yo, not for nothing. Um, as a fan and an artist, sometimes, my appreciation of a record comes from both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? And man, Punch, I'm gonna just give it to you, bruh. That's probably the dopest verse I've heard this year. I
Yes,
mean,
Yes, sir.
yeah, I that verse, man, I was
hands
like,
down.
I listened to rhymes, and I listened to them, and I hate to say it, but I listened to rhymes thinking, could I have done that? Could I have done could I have done that? And some of those metaphors that you pulled out and related it back to the concept, because these aren't just metaphors for the sake of metaphors. These
Hmm.
are these are plays on words for the sake of um, you know voicing your opinion and voicing the opinion of millions of people around the world. So, man, that verse, and especially the way Charlie retweaked it and mixed that beat, man.
Yeah,
Um,
truly humbling, sir. Appreciate that. That
I
was
think we, yeah, yeah.
that song's heavy, man. That concept that Anon brought to the table, and
Hmm.
with the hook and the idea, skip from 11 to 13. That was one of those seeds that was planted in one of those divine sons.
Yeah,
That's we're not going to be finished with the album till we knock out that song. You know,
Yes.
yeah.
and the just the energy and the way just going through the song, man, it makes you, it feels good to rap it. It's one of those songs that you rap along with it. You know what I'm saying? Peace
Hmm.
to Felix the Black Cat for dropping that third verse on there. But
I'm
yeah,
glad you
like
said that.
it's a energy, and there's a anger right now, and that's one of them songs that I can I feel like you kind of we're kind of letting that out and giving people an outlet to express that. You know what I'm saying? I can actually see us performing that and getting shut down. I want to get shut down somewhere. Can we get
Waiting on.
Yo, with that being said, man, we gotta give respect and props to everybody that contributed to the project.
Oh
So
yeah.
run it down, man. Like from a production standpoint to guests, people that contributed to Conscious and Cadillac and made it what it is.
Well, off top, production wise, we have the three wise men,
Hmm.
Billy, Dan, and Charlie. They're pretty much the core of our sound of Divine Sons.
I see what you did there.
Well played. Hmm.
Of our sound. You know what I'm saying? They make our sound. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we have done and everything that we're pushing forward is probably going to be, founded in what they do. So, respect to them. They're always going to be there. Some additions. Mags is he always has a project, at least one project on
Hmm.
a album. He produced Beautiful Mind. That's a personal favorite of mine. Um, we also have my homie from Texas. I grew up with him. Met him in Germany. Aaron Ortiz. He produced Trouble. Um,
Mm,
what else do we have on there?
troublesome too.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's a monster. And I think that's really it. I think on
It's
this
a lot of
album, there's
production,
only
Jeff.
five producers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the feature tip, of course you're gonna see members of the core there. Dan Johns definitely was gonna make sure he got in and stirred up that trouble water with trouble.
Ah, boy, y'all
Plex
do it
Long,
again.
Plex Long comes in, and you know what? F you, Plex Long, gonna come through and body like 38 bars at the end of Step Inside.
Again,
So perfectly. This our sister Veer, vocalist, always, forever. Hopefully, we're gonna get her to do some music on her own as well. But she lends her just very rich, sultry, syrupy, thick vocals. I've already said Trice Beat Phantom Magnetic. We got the boy Felix, the Black Cat, BJC, Vinyl Junkies fam, and oh yeah, we got AK, we got action on that thing.
oh, Action dropped
Uh,
the monster verse.
What up, Act?
Monster verse. Well,
Mango
Monster.
forever.
Oh, you and that dude go back and forth with like y'all voices, like y'all voices would be UFC fighters if they were in physical form.
Oh yeah, we gonna get into depth with that when we go come back here. I don't know what we're gonna call this when we come back here and dissect Dan's album. Because
Yo,
AK had some. Ooh,
and and probably one of the sweetest features is our brother Finale. Finale
hmm
out of Detroit. Y'all know Finale, Odds and Ends, produced by Odyssey. Been Mr. Detroit for an extended period of time, and like I don't big up Finale as a feature. Like, look who we got. Like, that's our brother. I
Yeah.
remember in '97, and I mean Dan will tell you about it. Me, him, and Finale walking down the strip between Morehouse and CAU or any open mic with a Who Want It, and that was it. Like, Who Want It, like Who Want It, and
Yeah.
bring all your crew. Just like, let's go. Rhymes for days, rhymes for life, because it
Yeah.
meant so much to us. So to be able to see our brother move in a nice trajectory and solidify his career, solidify his family, and still for us to be able to come together. And then on a joint called Science of Self, no less, just absolutely perfect. So the circle, if you will, is unbroken. By and by, Lord.
Mm,
And if we speak on somebody, establishing their career, I like to give a shout out to last but not least my homie Rome, Live
Chrome
Smooth
Rome.
fam. He would have been on every song if it was up to him,
yeah,
but we was able to hold him down to two. Uh, yeah, this waiting video when it drops, this would be like his coming out party. Monster MC, and yeah, we're excited about him too.
absolutely. A lot of big things coming from Divine Sons and our imprint, Flat Circle Records and
Right.
Films. Really you know, call it like you see it, man. Flat Circle Records and Films, man. If you can't control your own art, man, you're limiting your output and you're limiting your range and you're limiting your reach. So we want to say thanks to everyone that's been rocking with us, man. Thanks to everybody that supported our movement thus far. We beautiful people, man. Don't forget to visit webeautifulpeople.com. I'm cooking up the next batch of Conscious and Cadillac apparel. And it'll be some other stuff coming down the pipe for Endangered and the next Divine Sons album. We already got a title, but you gotta wait on that.
Man.
Yeah. You might even have seen it someplace or two. But
Uh,
anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So with all of that said, man, I think this was dope, man, and it was good that we got an opportunity to do this. I'm glad to be a part of the Conscious and Cadillac phenomenon, and I think that everybody can find something on this record that they will embrace, and I think that's the dope thing. It's like an Outkast album. You don't you don't have to like every track, but there's something on there that you can embrace. We hope you love every track,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, people people have different ears, and it's something that's going to grab your ear on this project. And just keep rocking with us, man. And we appreciate y'all. Sorry if this ran a little long. We may chop it up a little bit, but I think y'all might need to get this in one dose. So
Yeah.
this is yours truly, Dan Johns, Anon Negrio, and the Hunch Punch champ of the Divine Sons. Shout out to our brothers and sisters around the world. We beautiful people.
Peace.
Conscious, ampersand Cadillac.
Cadillac.
Ampersand. Please say the ampersand, baby.